Hey guys, how's it going, and thanks for coming. I'm Nick and this is Real Life Money. If you like topics like this, don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Yes, I am still a little sick, but we're pushing through. So in this video, we're going into life advice that we should all know before we die. Before we kick the can, before we say hi to big guns upstairs, we should know a lot of these things. Now, the first thing people might say is, well, how old are you? You don't have much experience. I'm 26 years old. And that doesn't necessarily determine that I haven't learned life experience yet. Now, yes, I might not have ultimate wisdom because I'm only 26. However, constantly learning every single day is better than comparing to someone who's not constantly learning every single day. And I feel like we have all been through a lot of different experiences. These was kind of personal to me. Don't get me wrong, this could relate to every single one of you out there. So if you guys want to add any in the comments down below, if you have more wisdom, more experience, or intelligence. And don't forget to stick around for the end for number 12. We're going over 12 life advice tips. But number 12, some people would definitely not like you if you know this. So stick around till then. So let's start it off, guys. Each and every single one of these definitely changed my life, so hopefully it could change yours and you could start living or just changing and viewing things in a certain way. So number one thing, in no particular order, number one is there's a difference between earned income and passive income. Earned income is basically a job. You trade your time for money, and if you want more money, you're going to have to trade in more time. The problem with that is we only have limited time, so that comes up with an issue. When you have passive income, or not necessarily passive, but if you put in effort, then you get money out of that. And that you can make money now, you could make money later, and it's based off of that, and not necessarily just trading in your time. Number two, if you've seen any financial video ever, you should probably know this, but this definitely changed my life, is compound interest. The idea of how anyone could really become a millionaire. Now understand, first of all, that there's a difference between average return and actual return. A compound interest calculator actually only calculates fixed returns. So if you're dealing with the stock market, let's say, the stock market is not fixed. It's all over the place. So what you're getting at, let's say, if you're using like an 8% return in your compound interest calculator, in reality, it's actually not going to be that number, just because every single year is different from that 8%. So what you'll actually get will be different. Just know that. Number three is something that I actually just thought of today. I've been listening to a bunch of songs recently, and it got me thinking. And it's the idea of, what if your family, what if your kids, or what if, most importantly, you ask yourself this question: what the heck have you been doing in your life in the past 5, 10, 20, or however many years we want to talk about it? What have you done in the past 10 years? And what's your response going to be? What if your kids ask you that? And it's like, oh, I've been binge watching Netflix. Wow, they're going to be really proud. And that's definitely something you could teach them. So I would honestly have something to show that you've been working on. Actually, you think bigger here. It's not only your life, but it's a legacy that you could leave. Number four is, this completely changed my life forever, and like the person who I was before is dead. I'm the new guy. So what completely changed my life is never live with regrets. Pain is temporary, while regrets you'll live with your entire life. So just do it. Number five is, you can only control yourself and absolutely nothing else. You might believe you have control of other things. You might believe that you have control of your kids. You might believe you have control of people around you, the things that happen to you, but chances are you don't. You can only make choices for yourself, and we live in a cause and effect world. Anything else, you really don't have any control over. Traffic, you don't have control over. So if you don't have control over, you shouldn't get bothered by it. Number 6 is subscribing to my channel will change your life. No, not really. Well, I think so, but that's not the actual number 6. The real number 6 is saving money won't make you rich. And I love using this example. So let's say you actually make, you might have a goal of, let's make $100,000 in a year. Well, let's say you actually do. And let's say you save 20%, which is a really good amount. So you're saving $20,000 a year. It's going to take you 50 years to save $1 million. I don't have that type of time. You don't have that type of time. And that's why saving money isn't worth it. Yes, have a cushion, think about it. But rich don't get rich from saving money. They do other things like investing. Number 7, some people might talk about it, but it's not like a real important thing that people drill into each other. And it's the idea of money is very important. Don't get me wrong. However, it's not everything. You could have all the riches, all the gold, all the whatever you want, all the stocks, all the real estate in the world, and you could still be filled with pain. One quote by Tony Robbins, some people hate him. Hey, whatever. I kind of like the guy. But one thing that he mentioned is having success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And we don't want to be there. So understand, money is important. We still need it. We still need to get not things. You still need to live. You still need to eat. But there's more than that. Number 8, which I learned kind of young, and it was very strange to me, is that the world is wrong. And when I was young, I thought, I feel like everyone kind of lives through that. When you're a kid, you feel like everything's right. Your parents are right, adults are right, everything is just in a perfect world. And one day you find out it's not. So you shouldn't follow other people out there. Most people out there, they're not living the life that they want to live. They don't have the family they want to have. They don't have the job, or they don't have the happiness at all. So why should you follow them? You shouldn't follow an American dream. You should follow your dream. You could create it because you're the leader of your dream and your life. Hopefully that sounded motivational. My voice isn't making it that way, but we're pushing on over to number 9. Number 9 is talking and doing are 2 completely different things. A lot of people talk. A lot of people never shut their mouths, but they never do any of it. If we actually started doing what we know we should do, we would have better lives. My dad always said, talk is cheap, and it most certainly is. A lot of people try to give advice, and they have no experience with it. I try to help people because I have experience with it. But, there's some that they have nothing going for them, and they still put in their 2 cents for it. No offense, you shouldn't listen to those people. You shouldn't take, let's say, marriage advice from someone that's been divorced 3 times. Not to say they're a bad person, but you could probably get better advice somewhere else. Or my favorite is a broke person giving financial advice. Why should I take that? Number 10, if you got this far, guys, really appreciate it. It means a lot. And it means that you're going to have a great life because you're continuing on with this. I forgot where I actually heard this. There's probably so many places that you hear these different things. But I liked this one. Number 10 is the treasures that you desire are in the cave that you fear the most. Now that was pretty cool. So you have to really go for something. It might scare the crap out of you. You know, it's going to be scary, and there's going to be a lot of fear involved with it. However, beyond that fear is what you want the most. That's some fortune cookie level stuff. That's why I like it. Number 11, kind of throwing a little bit of minimalism in there, is you'll be happier if you're more content with what you already have. Now, so many people, you know, they're not happy unless they get more things and more things and more things. You're never going to have it all, which means you're never going to be happy. So, if you're actually happy with what you have, the people you're with, the money that you have, the house that you're in, you'll be more grateful. The holiday, which is the exact opposite of that, is Black Friday. And number 12, we got to what was talking about before, guys. Number 12. I forgot where I heard this, but it just clicked for me, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. And number 12 is that you should work on yourself more than your job. And that sounds like you're going to be a pretty bad employee because, you know, you're not going to be focusing on your job. You're not going to be focusing on the work and everything like that. Listen, I could go off on this, trust me. But guess what? Your job could let you go in a day. They could replace you really quickly. You might be sad for a little bit, but they will replace you. That's why you have to work on yourself more than your job. You're going to follow yourself for your entire life, and you could only have a job for a certain amount of time. I don't care if you're in that job for your entire life. At some point, there is a start and a stop to your job. Outside of that is you, and you need to work on that more. If you're working on your job more than yourself, which a lot of people do, unfortunately, that is a huge issue. And those are kind of the big life advice tips that I gained over the years. There's probably a lot more that I'm not just recollecting, but I also want to leave room for you guys. What's some life advice that really changed your mind, changed your life forever? Leave them down below. So maybe you could also change someone else's life forever as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, again, down below. And keep killing it, guys. Really focus on it. Improve yourself every single day. Small steps, and we'll all get there. And heck, we might even all be happy while doing that. Imagine that happy world. It's difficult out there, but we could try. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one, hopefully feeling better.